I'm Nim Jickles. This is the Ain't That a Bitch podcast. We got the whole Spanish crew here with us today. Let's get it going. Okay, we got, as you know, Aiden Ballard, our shit editor and audio manager.
Yeah.
That still owes me $1, by the way.
You owe everyone $1. Cole Mitchell. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Alright, it's Cole and Shany. Can you say your name for us?
Mashia?
Mashia?
Yeah.
Shany Mashia.
There we go. Yeah.
And not Andre and not Justin.
Because they are not part of
They're
the
not
game.
cool.
They left. They went to the other table. They went to the other
Exactly.
table to go vape and... Not vape if you're Andre. Andre just watches.
Yeah.
Secondhand vape. Is that a thing?
Yeah. I mean, for show.
But what is it? Isn't it just water? Isn't it just water vapor and nicotine essentially?
Yeah,
I don't think, like
it's.
there's a thing with, like, secondhand smoke where it can be,
Right.
like, bad if you breathe it in, but I don't think, like,
But I don't think
vape
it's
can be bad
addictive.
if you...
I don't think it is either because the secondhand smoking thing is just like all the crap that you're burning up. It's not
Yeah.
like I don't think you can get addicted to secondhand smoking because
No.
all the good stuff goes in your lungs. And by the same token, so I don't since vape is supposed to take all the quote unquote all the bad stuff out, it just gives you addictive part. So I feel like this stuff coming out is nothingness. Just smells bad.
Or
Yeah.
it smells
pretty much.
good.
Yeah,
It
it's
smells good. It
There's-
just doesn't smell like smoke.
Make sure y'all. Oh, did you turn the sensitivity up on this thing?
Oh, yeah, cranked it.
Okay, good. So you'll hear it. Well, I'm gonna be real loud.
Yeah,
I
at
got
the
it.
beginning, the reason I was making a weird face there is... Here, let me show you the...
Ear rape.
yeah. It's just
Nice.
a little loud
That's
over there.
fine. I don't give a shit.
I'll
Anyways,
find a way to
great
fix
to
it.
have y'all here. For these two's first time seeing a place. Hope you like all the design choices. You know? So this, if you can't really tell, this is really a guest bedroom that I took over and made my own. Oh, dog wants to come in. But so yeah, there's tons of crap in here that's just not mine. And that I don't really want here. Those boxes, I think those are empty. They were for my dad's beer stuff. My dad keeps a lot of his microbrewing stuff down here. And then there's a keyboard. There's a bunch of clothes that aren't mine. But this bed, all me.
Nice Star Wars bed.
Yeah, love this thing.
It's season... They're making a new season of this.
They are, exactly.
I've never seen
not
a single
completely out of
Star
there.
Wars.
Are you crazy?
No, I'm
Look,
sane. Well, I mean, like sometimes, sure.
I used to get really surprised and indignant about these people, and then I realized that there's actually a lot of people out there that just haven't.
My parents, forced me to watch, all this.
Right, well, it was their generation's thing, so I would
Exactly.
assume everyone's parents. But I guess if you're not strictly from the U.S. or Canada, then it wouldn't be as big a deal for you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm on Saga B.
Okay. Anyways,
Jeans. I mean,
Heck yeah, dude.
this line is weirding me out.
You don't like the line?
Shany's not into Cole's jeans.
He has better jeans, guys.
He has.
I have better ones. I think. All of them are joggers.
You've been keeping track. Good this day? Nah.
Man, I was unaware that there was that many subtleties. I thought it was just denim. All the same.
Bruv, you
As far as I'm
clearly
aware.
have no clue what's going on.
No, you're right about that. So anyways, you two are the new fellas. You're the guests. What are you guys have some
We've got to
great
talk about
stories.
the Spanish stories. What's been going on in Spanish class?
Oh my gosh,
So,
yeah. I mean, that seems like a logical theme, right?
Me and Cole were talking, and he goes, "I'm about to talk about this airplane,
The
dog."
fucking
It's gonna
airplane
happen.
ended
Paper
Spanish
airplane.
class. It ended Spanish class.
So for those of you who don't know us, which is most
like
y'all,
everyone.
yeah, if you're not in our Spanish class, we all sit together, and it's a big ass class with a lot of kids because they have to merge the Spanish IB and the Spanish whatever regular class. You can let him in if you want. It doesn't really matter.
Bro, he's gonna crawl
He'll
on the
screw it
microphone.
up real bad, but it'll be funny as hell. Anyways, we got a ton of kids in there. It's nuts, and we all sit at the back table, or we did, and we all sat together because
Yeah, we did.
we're the boys in
fucking
Shany. our field
Yeah.
leader, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm a
Andre used
part
to
of
sit
the-
with us,
I'm part of the-
and for a very short time, Justin, and then he moved over to the vape table, which is right to our left, and then Andre eventually moved over to the vape table, and it was just us. And man, Garen, our teacher,
Hated
constantly
us and
breathing
loved
down our
them.
necks. Really likes the drug addicts
Exactly.
for some reason.
You know what? He liked us at the beginning, and then suddenly
He
was
liked
just like,
you and Andre.
Yeah, except then
and
Andre
he ignored
left.
us.
Yeah.
Andre left, so he loved their table, and then
Exactly.
and he just couldn't handle Shany.
Yeah, he still. I think he still liked me though.
He's such a
Yeah,
weird.
no,
Like,
he
he never-
always
You know what he
liked
said?
you.
Yeah.
He always liked you.
You know what he
It was
said
never
on
like
my...
an Andre level of suck up, but it.
Yeah.
I did work, which is more than most people can say.
Bro,
It's
you
true.
know what he wrote on my report
Oh,
card?
no.
What?
He
I
goes,
haven't checked all that.
he goes, I had no fucking idea I was in Spanish 10 IB, guys. I thought I was just in
You were in
Spanish
IB.
10.
That's funny. I mean, there was no
literally had
difference.
No clue.
We were on the exact same curriculum.
I know, like, I literally had no fucking idea, and every time he called the sheets, I was like, is this, like, wrong or something? I was just like, how stupid. Anyways, so we put on my report card, he's like, yeah, like, pop by, say hello when you can next semester. I was like...
That was a real good impression.
I was like...
Where do you see the?
It
comments
should be
and stuff?
there.
Oops, I hit the wrong thing.
There. No, give me...
I messed it up myself. Anyways, yeah, so we had a good run for a time, and then things happened. There was a substitute. I mentioned her a while ago on this podcast.
That bitch be crazy.
Yeah, that about sums it up. And then like
What?
What,
So
like the
cool.
okay guys, this.
yeah, the
Wait
there
a
was
minute,
other
wait a
was
substitute.
it
minute.
the
How do
actor?
you-
The
I think
actress
we got
was
the
pretty
same
funny.
comment.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, I think he just copied
was-
and pasted
No,
for
you
everybody.
lose-
Probably did. I
You
told you,
just
male
didn't
teachers just
tend-
copy paste the whole thing.
No, Spanish 20.
You didn't show
Yeah.
me it.
Oh yeah, no, 10 IB. Yeah,
Damn,
right.
he did say the same thing.
He copied and
He's
pasted
so
for
right.
everybody. What the heck?
That's what male teachers do. We talked about this,
I
sir.
thought we were cool. Thought I
Not
was-
after that paper airplane.
It's
Andre's
true.
probably getting some like essay written for him.
Damn.
Andre
Kane.
just got a love letter.
Yeah.
We still
I
like
can't.
mention what the paper airplane was.
Well, I'm trying to get around to
Yeah,
it.
we're getting there. We're
Look,
getting there.
I'd make tangents on my own with 4 people. Can you imagine how long it's gonna take us to finish one topic? So basically, we
Andre left the table and
look,
like,
we're jokers, right? I mean, come on, listen to us. We're funny guys. And Shany. Dude, she's the best of us all, though.
Thank you.
I've said this before. Shany, one of the few people, probably the only person I really know that I met at Wisewood, has great personality, doesn't vape.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Almost all the new
Thank you,
people I've
man.
ever met
Yeah.
always vape or like
Either
stuff.
they have a terrible personality or they vape or both. And
Exactly.
then the people who don't are like, I know them very little and I see them very little because they're like Chinese kids who don't have time for drugs because they're studying so hard. Their addiction is math if you're Nandan. Anyways, besides the point, we screw around a lot. We don't really do the work and we definitely don't try on the tests. So does
guys, I cheated throughout this entire semester.
So we all did, but you're the only one
I
that
think
got caught.
every single
I
person
I
in
got
class
caught
did.
one time and then I got
That
scared.
attitude, I think.
Brother,
Were
I
you
literally
That definitely hurt.
I always had screenshots of the textbook and I put it in between my legs.
I saw
in
it,
the
yeah.
middle
Yeah.
of the
You should
test.
have used the patented
Yeah, we
Method
wrote
of
on our
cheating.
eraser or on the
on the
desk.
table
really?
and covered
then
the
covered it
eraser,
with our
and then
hands.
you
It's
just
true.
erase it afterwards.
Look, Garen,
Exactly.
I mean, you gotta cut him some slack because he's running IB and the second language classes, and there's like 100 of us in that class. But man, Shany,
Okay, no, I'm good.
but
Sorry.
man, he did not even try. Like our quizzes were
This
just like
man.
pull out a
Marked by
sheet.
the
Of,
other person.
we
as
pull
well.
out our own sheet of paper. We marked each other's tests, or sometimes even our own.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It was like a 4th grade test. It was crazy. It was like put up your binders
It's
to
like
block
a-
each.
saw
Shany. It's like put up a binder to block so you don't see each other's test answers. Oh man, and
Yeah.
I mean we sat at the back. No one didn't cheat on those tests except maybe Arjav.
Rajav.
Right.
Raja.
Shany hasn't been able to pronounce Arjav's name for
Okay,
the entire
Now
year.
I am aware that his name is Arjav,
But you still
but
say it wrong.
literally, in English class one time, because I have English and Spanish with him.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we had a test that day in Spanish, so I went up to him and I was like, "Yo, Raja!" Like literally no shame, like I had no idea, and he was like, "What?" And
No, I know you don't.
Sorry.
I've literally, you've been talking about him and be like, you said Raja, and I'm like, it's Arjav, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. So anyways, Raja was
Exactly.
like, you don't hear.
Sorry, guys.
Shani got it in her head so clearly that his name is Raja that she changes it back to Raja no matter what you tell her.
Hey, it's our
it though.
job.
I'd also like to point out we've been going for like 11 minutes now and still haven't
And
told
still
people
haven't
the
gone
paper
to
airplane
paper
Shut up,
is.
Aiden. We don't need.
We're gonna go through this whole like hour and a half and just
Just
go
talk
over
about
one
Spanish
topic.
class. We're gonna go
Exactly.
over the whole semester.
Exactly.
So we've already gone through like half the semester, okay, before the paper airplane incident. we should measure time in that Spanish class.
Yeah, so
As
like we've got the good times,
B-
like where we're screaming and stuff. and Mr. Garen
BPAI
likes us.
before paper airplane incident.
Exactly.
And APAI after paper airplane incident.
After pair player, after
It's a mouthful, I know. I realized that as I
when
made it
I'm
up.
the one in ESL, but Cole can't talk.
I can't speak English. After the paper airplane, Spanish class was never the same.
It just wasn't fun enough.
No.
It was never.
It literally became sad.
And then Mr. Garen came up to us and like, you're the quietest people in the class.
Yeah, it's like,
because
that's
all of
'cause
us were
we're-
on our phones the
That's
whole
We
Yeah.
time.
literally just
We
played
stopped-
Game Pigeon
I
for a
remember.
solid
It's true. We
month.
stopped talking to each other.
Exactly.
I mean, we still didn't do work in class or anything. There was a short period though. There's a transitional phase. So okay, let's actually get to it. So
I did
he
a
started to
full
like us.
split that one time. I remember that.
Garen started to like us less and less, and we were always very loud, and so was everyone else. But it was always us.
He always
It
targeted
was us and that
man.
one like blonde kid at the table
Shit,
to the
that guy
right.
was so irritating.
That guy.
Holy
Wait,
shit.
Yeah, but he was funny with the.
Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the
That kid
sub
has a
though?
54 in Spanish.
How can you fail Spanish? You don't
know.
actually have to do any work. Anyways, so we try to amuse ourselves, right? We had a thing with a plastic water bottle, and it was mostly with this because of the sub. She killed the spirit of that class.
Yeah.
Like she sucked the life out of it. And I've talked about this before. So we try to find ways to amuse ourselves. One thing we did, Andre always has just a ludicrous amount of empty plastic water bottles for his water. And so we did a thing where you squeeze it up, twist it up, and like blow the cap off. And she was not happy with that. I lost part of my pin because I was trying to shoot it around. I started firing my pin around with my binder strap.
Oh my god, remember that? And one time I hit Andre in the hip. That was everything.
That was
He was just
great.
like,
Yeah. And then one time, Aiden,
Oh, yeah,
who
it was Aiden.
This is what was crazy about it. Aiden has always been basically off the radar, like either neutral or in his good graces. Made one paper airplane, ruined
I
it
didn't
for all
even-
of us.
I didn't
Yeah,
even make
It
the
wasn't
paper
even
airplane.
him. I just
Cole
blamed
made
it
it.
on him the whole time.
That's true.
I made the paper airplane. I just blamed it on him.
But regardless, doesn't matter. In the end, that did it for us, and we were all separate.
We were separated for like
we were
weeks.
completely separated for like a week, and then like there was like 2 or 3 people at the table,
Yeah.
or 2 people at the table.
had,
So
like,
me and Aiden, I think,
at the
left or
back.
something.
and then
then-
me and Cole got. I
We had to
was
go to the
always
front.
K. Even before the paper airplane incident, like
It's true.
literally, the entire class would be making noise, and that table would be
Yeah.
vaping in class and screaming
And
and,
Shany would
not
laugh.
doing work, and I would go, and he'd be
Garen would
like,
be like,
Shany, go to the front, and
Yeah.
I literally sit alone with Arjav
Yeah,
for
like
days.
But not really
Days.
though. You'd sit there for one class, and then the next day you'd be like, Karen, please, and he'd be like,
And he'd be like,
okay.
okay, well,
If
only
you're
if
gonna
you
behave.
work. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay.
and then
And then it happened again.
I got put up. Me and Andre got put up at that front table one time, and that was the only time I worked all year or all semester. And then we just slowly. It was like if give an inch, take a whatever the fuck the saying is. I don't remember. But I think at one point what happened was Shani and Cole got moved to the side table.
Yeah.
And it was like, and he was like, that's permanent. Me and Aiden got to stay because we were like, quote unquote, the best behaved.
It wasn't even bad, man. It was just.
Shani, you're the best.
Thank you, man.
Garen couldn't handle the
It's
Shani.
true. No, for like a hot minute, I like had him wrapped around my finger. I could like say anything to get out of moving, but then at the end he caught me and he was like, "No, I'm not dealing with you no more."
But
No.
it ended okay. So what happened was I didn't even realize this. He said Shani and Cole have to sit at that side table. Only on Aiden and I could sit at the back. No point in sitting at the back unless you got your homies.
Yeah, word.
So they were like, Shani and them were just like, come over here and sit with us. Because he'll notice if they're at the back. Because we're like, he has a clean line of sight. He looks over that front table. He doesn't even see them. I don't think he's ever addressed them one time.
Nah.
He looks over them straight to the back table. But the side table, I don't think he like turns.
Like
he doesn't have peripheral vision.
Yeah,
He has
he's
tunnel
just
vision.
like
That's why it's always
straight
us.
to our table.
He has. If you ever played like a tower defense game, there's like mortar troops sometimes, and it's like their range is not like immediately next to it. It's like out a little bit. It's like out a little bit, and then that's Garen's vision. It's like he has tunnel vision, but only over that front table, just to us.
Yeah.
Like he only sees us. Everything else is black. It's like a VR screen that doesn't go all the way around.
This? Oh my god, twins.
Yeah, I won that count.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It was one of those like water shooty things, right? And no one else was there. It was like I was with a friend, and so it was like his brother and my brother. There's like 4 of us. There's no one else there, so the 4 of us did it. So either way, we would get a prize. I actually won that though. Anyways, very proud of that. What were we saying? Anyways, he always sees us. So then I was like, I'm gonna go sit with my homies, and then Aiden came too, and then so like we started sitting up at the front or at the side table with them,
And
then
he did not
Garen,
notice.
he didn't notice for a long time. We would put up
notice.
Cole's back. Then he actually noticed, and I was like, it's over, and he's like, oh, you decided to sit up there? It's like, as long as we're not at the back table, he doesn't care.
I think he just hates that back table.
It's
I think the year before
he only
us,
sees the back table.
Yeah. I think like the year before us was like really bad and sat at the back table, and so now he just checks at the back
To
table.
be fair, kids sitting at the back is a stereotype for like that's where you go to cause trouble. But man, that class, the whole room was causing trouble. But yeah,
Everybody would be screaming. We'd like say one word, and he'd be running to us.
Justin and that girl Olivia literally like wrestled over the window.
Every day.
They were, not only were they screwing with the window, but they were like straight up physically assaulting one another. And
It
he's
wasn't
like,
even about the
"Kids,
window.
break it
Yeah.
up."
It wasn't even about the window. It was just Olivia doing her thing, and then Justin being like, "Yeah, no, she's hot." So.
Yeah, it's like grab.
He's so crazy. We're scared, man.
He's real. He's a real character.
He changed a lot, you know.
You know what?
Oh yeah.
I just try to avoid him. I never spent a lot of time with Justin. Like, I don't know if I think I was in his class 1 year when I was in junior high. But I'd like tried not to talk to him. He was friends with Andre forever, and he was like he would hang out with Andre and Nick and Sean and them. So I would like tolerate his presence, you know. But I tried not to talk to him directly because it just was never really big on anything about Justin. Anyways, but I was fine with him. This year he was sitting at, like I said, at the very start of the year he sat at our table, and I was like, before I was cool with like Cole and Shany and y'all, and so it's just like Andre, Aiden, and me and Justin basically was the people I knew, so I kind of had to interact with him some. And man, ever since that first quiz that we did where he like got a 50 on it, it was basic stuff. It was like 4 words or something I need to learn, and he got like half of them wrong. I just would not let up, and I couldn't help it. He just made it too easy. Because Justin, look, one of his things that just I don't appreciate, he's always trying to find something wrong with someone else, right? It's like, whatever you do, whatever you wear, whatever you say, he'll be like, that? Really? Yeah. Because, whatever. All right, teach their own. But every time he would do that, I would somehow manage to bring up that test. And he got so angry about it. And it was like, he would actually, Charles, why are you like so mean? Why you have so much pent-up anger about it? And I was like, well, yeah, actually, I do. I've been angry at you for a long time, but I never talked to you long enough to actually have anything against you. Regardless, that's beside the point. Paper airplane.
Yeah, we have not gotten to the paper airplane.
We did
in
that.
20 minutes.
We actually, yeah, it's true.
We kind of started to touch on it.
Well, we
like,
finished.
not really.
We're past paper airplane, right? Like the paper. We were throwing a paper airplane around.
Ballard made a paper airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And
He
that's
chucked
the-
it.
It was
the last
definitely
straw.
me.
It was definitely Ballard.
100%.
He chucked it, and
It was
Garen
Aiden's
was so mad at us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't. It's like that's what did it.
The paper airplane.
Are you gonna make it an ASMR? I'm gonna have to do an ASMR.
Oh my god.
What's his face? Daniel or Elias? One of those two fucks. Turned an apple into a bong. It's like
Oh yeah, I gave him
We-
the apple.
I gave
He
him the
found
apple.
it on
Oh,
the
never
ground,
mind,
didn't
no,
he?
no.
I gave him the apple from
gave
my
him the
locker.
They did it twice.
Oh, they did it a second
one
time?
time they found an apple just on the ground.
All I know is he was asking around for an apple. Andre, he knows I'm where it's at, so he came. He was like, "Oh, I bet Charles has an apple." You know it. Maddie. Okay, Maddie Lane.
Maddie Lane.
Who is
Cole knows.
ew.
She was at Louis. She was a science kid. Never really talked to her. Never had any interaction with her. First day of school, it was like a introductory thing. They had like food trucks outside at lunchtime. You go out. Some people brought their own food. Maddie had an apple and applesauce, and she didn't finish either of them. And so she was just going around. She came to me. She's like, "You want this?" I'm like, "Sure. What the fuck?" I never say no to anything because I always know. Like, I could be a hoarder if I didn't control myself because I know that stuff is going to have use at some point. So I got the applesauce. I got the apple. I ate the applesauce. Didn't want the apple. I put it in my locker. I've had it in there for months. I had an apple just sitting in there, getting old, getting soft, and never wanted to eat it. I was like, we're going to find something fun to do with this at some point. A guy needs an apple to make a bong. Like, come on. It's like I was made for this. What are the chances that a dumbass hold on to an apple in their locker for months just to have it turn into a bong? Unfortunately, sucking moldy Maddie apple did not give the guy lung cancer, so I'm disappointed in that. At least I was hoping to give him some worms or something.
Damn, bro.
Worms. Hey, look.
Damn, bro.
One less.
I like the twins. Cool.
Sorry.
You don't like the
one-
twins? Damn, bro.
Dude,
You know
no.
what you-
The
between the
short
twins?
answer is no. The difference?
I know their names. And
You know what? Daniel is like significantly less ugly than Elias. That's like how
Like,
I tell them.
You're
even-
weirdly right. They're
I talked to
identical, but
one
one of them is uglier.
I know.
I talked to one of them on the bus
Yeah.
because I don't know, Andre was talking to him and stuff. It was just kind of an instant thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
Aiden,
so-
you don't have to think about talking to people.
So anyway, I was talking to him, you know, and as
It's a one-time
talking.
Okay. Jesus
So,
Christ.
Anyway, he's
Not
like, "Oh yeah, my
singing.
brother does a lot of Like, I know the difference between them,
Yeah.
but I don't know who's who.
Where did you get that
The
from?
guy with
No, like, because I was talking to one of them on the train,
Red
and he was
shoes is
explaining
Daniel,
the
blue
differences.
shoes is Elias.
Have I mentioned this? Aiden is the worst storyteller I know.
No, I love Aiden.
I know you do. By the way, actually, for those of you, again, who don't know her, just, take note of this episode. Like, if you listen to this and don't really pay any attention to it, pay attention to this one, because you're never going to hear more praise for Aiden at one time ever again.
Yeah.
You're never going to hear someone be this nice to Aiden and like
She
him.
is more positive about
at
me
once.
than when I was born.
Yeah, it's true. She probably likes Aiden more than his parents do.
I love Aiden, guys. Literally, I don't know what happened. It was just weird. Aiden
They
did not talk to
connected.
me for
They
a
connected.
nice 2 months at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I broke through to him with this one thing I did where I sat in the middle of him and Charles, and then that just became my seat where I would go up to Aiden just really close for no reason, and then we just chuckle for 8 minutes. It was so fun.
Look, Shany, I don't know what your personal experience is, but I feel like you're not a person who would ever have trouble making friends for a long time.
Thanks.
It's because you literally insert yourself into a situation. I would have gone through the entire semester just talking to Aiden and Andre or whatever, and just kind of ignoring you, tolerating you, not because there's anything wrong with you, but just because I don't know you. But you literally put yourself between me and the only other person I knew there, because Andre was talking to Justin or whatever, and so I'm like, I gotta talk to you. And instead, I just started drawing on your pencil case.
Yeah, that stupid bum left a
sorry.
big red stain on my smiley
Sorry,
face.
I'm so mean to new people.
I know, I'm joking.
I beat them in. I gotta test you. I did the exact same thing with what was his name, Chance, when his return
yeah.
podcast. I was
Is Chance
so-
the guy in our class?
Yo, there's
No,
this
yeah,
guy
you guys have a
named
weird Chance. And I thought you were talking
oh
about
my
the
God,
same
this is
person.
disgusting. This kid brings in a lunch to our first period morning. Literally eats like Alfredo pasta. Like it smells so bad. It's so gross.
Oh,
I can't
good.
even like
think
sit
I
next to him. No, it's like
I
it's
think
like
I understand
stanky.
that.
It's just
Stanky.
So
really
it's like
gross.
bad Alfredo.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah,
It
it's
might
pretty
be
easy
like
to get.
moldy or something. That shit smells rank.
Dang.
It's so gross.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember you came in hot about that one Spanish class you were talking about that, and we thought you were talking about the Chance we know. It's a different guy. He's weird in his own right though. He wears
It's a t-shirt.
he has some weird t-shirts, and he always wears mismatched shoes. He
I know him.
Yeah,
Is he the
he
guy that
has-
wears the blue and yellow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
has, like,
got
the-
blue and yellow
Oh,
shoes
I
and
love
black
that
and
guy.
white socks. He's
No,
a weird
he's
guy.
okay.
But yeah, I didn't.
He's a big and a half.
I don't
I
know
want to
who
be
to
his
say.
friend.
But so me too. But like he just happened to be in our room in band camp. You'll remember that the best
Oh
episode
my
of this thing we
gosh.
ever recorded. And I knew him least. Okay, like I knew Rami very little, but I had like
Rami
spoken to-
Ghoul?
Yeah.
Shut
I had spoken to-
up. I love
Those
him.
people are great.
He's so
Anyways,
crazy.
but like immediately I just
He's
identified like
crazy.
Chance. He's different. He's weird. I'm gonna get him. So I was just bashing him the whole podcast. But then like as soon as it was over, I'm like, he's like my favorite person now, other than you, Shany.
Ah,
He's the other one. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't do drugs or anything.
Yeah.
And he's got a great person. Dude, I love the guy now. I want to see more of him. Great guy, but I was real mean to him. It means I like you. If I'm mean to you, it means I'm going to like you after I'm done being mean to you.
like Charles was never actually mean verbally, but
No.
like this one time we were talking about because me and Charles went to like a summer camp thing to volunteer.
Well, yeah, summer volunteering.
and
yeah.
we didn't talk to each other, but I was like put in a group with him, and I was like a completely different person at summer camp or whatever.
Yep.
And we like talked in this group, and I was like kind of friends with this dude named Jet, and then there was Charles in the group, and we both said we were going to Henry Wisewood, grade 10, and we were just like, bruh. Because everyone else was like living
oh,
like
another one.
EP, you know, like shit like that. I was like, bro, there's no one here I know except for this dude named Ben. It's
And
awesome.
I didn't think about it another time. Like
Yeah.
I didn't give it another thought. And then
Yeah.
she was in my Spanish class. Worked out great.
I'll be honest, I did not recognize Charles. I'm sorry.
That's fine. There's a lot of people I've known way longer than you because like I saw you one time.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
It's the
I can't
hair.
remember names to save my life.
Neither can I.
You can
I
tell me your
forgot
name.
Aaliyah's name,
And
and I've
maybe-
known her for like a year.
I forget.
I was walking down the hallway and I was like, "Hey, Alicia," and she's like,
What?
"Yeah."
my hearing brain just don't know work so good. You tell me things and I forget it. I felt so bad about this. I was in like 3rd grade or something. No, I was in like 5th grade. One of those years. Anyways, a teacher wanted to see me for like a thing that they were doing. You know, I don't want to get into it. It's just a whole world of embarrassment. But anyways,
We were
there's a teacher
talking.
who wanted to see me for a thing. And she's like, okay, come meet me at lunch, this lunch period. That same day. Completely forgot, just went out to my lunch. And then the next day she saw me in the hallway. She's like, where were you lunch? And I just felt so bad. I can forget things in 12 minutes. You tell me your name, I'll forget it immediately. I forget my brother's age pretty regularly. Shany, just a little while ago, you asked me how old my brother was, and I was like, every time someone asked me that, I freak the fuck out because I'm like, I have no idea. I think it's 12. And it is. It's 12. But man, I forget. I've spelled my own name wrong. I've
Charles.
spelled his name wrong. Jesus Christ. I've forgotten. Hell, what was the other thing? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, tell me what to do at all. I just forget it immediately. Faces, though. Things I see, I'll remember it like for years.
I'm exactly the same.
I saw Shany one time, and it's like, and I got to school, I'm like, where do I know you from? It's great. I love it because from movies, I'm like the master of like just watching this obscure ass movie. I'm like, we know that actress from somewhere. Guess what? I watched Mean Girls for the first time like a couple months ago or something. Watched for the first time. You know the guy in Mean Girls?
The dude, the fat one?
No, the main guy or like the hot guy.
Oh, sure. Aaron.
Okay, you're right, Aaron. See, no name. Remember the face. I saw him the whole movie. I was like, what's he in? I'm like, it's not Zac Efron. I know that, but it's like the typical Zac Efron character. What? What? It's like High School Musical. What's that? He was in Baywatch or whatever.
Fuck,
he's always that kind of character. But I'm like, that's not him. But he looks so familiar. You guys watch Food Network? Any of you?
Nope.
Like, since...
When I'm sick.
Yeah, same. Whenever I'm homesick.
What was that?
That's my notification sounds the Patricia Vine.
That's everything. Oh my god, my favorite Vine is Ryan. I can't stop watching it. It's so funny.
I don't get it.
I'll show you, Aiden. Don't make that face at me.
I've never.
I don't get people who don't know Vines. It's like,
You-
what are you doing with your
I
life?
have seen a lot of Vines, but
Not
I've
enough,
never seen-
evidently.
Yeah, I guess.
I have not seen like any Vines like ever.
I've seen all the good ones. If I haven't seen it, it's not good.
It's so good.
It is funny. What was I saying? Fuck. Shit. Oh yeah. So you ever watch Cake Wars?
I've seen it like
No.
a few times.
Halloween Wars, Christmas Wars. It's this big ass show. They get teams of three, and like they bake cakes, and then they got people doing all kinds of shit. They got someone who actually makes the cake, and they got someone who does like sugar glass blowing. They like make shit out of sugar glass.
What the?
And then they got someone who does stuff out of fruit, or sometimes they do stuff out of like fondant. Anyways, and so they all
Fondant. Who the fuck calls it fondant?
Fondant.
look.
Fondant, man.
It's
That's
my
fine.
show. You're right. Never mind.
It's a
Okay,
French
no, but
word. It's
anyways,
screwed
The
anyway.
fucking host of that show is Aaron from Mean Girls.
Shut up,
And
man.
and I recognized him the whole time. I was like, what the fuck is he from? So I looked him up. I looked up the actor. I went through his movie. I'm like, shut up. I haven't watched a single one of his movies. And then I finally got to like the bottom. It's like, host of Cake Wars. Holy fuck, this guy's on Cake Wars. This guy's the, you have 10 minutes left guy. This is the stop baking, put your fucking cakes down guy. Holy fuck, it's unbelievable. What was I saying? Faces. I always recognize faces. Yeah.
I recognize voices. Like, I've heard
yeah.
a little bit of Childish Gambino music, right? And
Oh,
then Donald
man.
You
Glover.
recognize Donald Glover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like when he did, whatever, his part in Solo. Like, I just couldn't stop hearing, like, music during
Yeah.
Solo when he talked. And same with Lion King, too.
Oh?
Lion King,
Oh,
he
you sure?
plays older Simba.
Simba, yeah.
And-
Shut up, does he actually?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Oh my god,
And
That is more
I
impressive
couldn't
because I
enjoy
didn't
the
recognize-
movie because
That's
I
funny.
couldn't stop
Because it was a
hearing
terrible
Childish
movie. That's why I
Gambino.
couldn't enjoy it. They cut out the best part of Be Prepared. Like, what the fuck? They had time for the goddamn morning report, but they didn't have time for Be Prepared. Like, what the hell? What a shitty movie. It's shitty Disney making shitty remakes of their shitty, awesome animated movies, making them into shitty live action movies or something.
Shit, bro.
Anyways, that's enough about that. Okay, this was what was really awkward. So you were saying like you didn't recognize me. It's like, that's understandable. We literally saw each other for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This girl, okay,
Me?
no.
Oh.
Holy fuck. This was weird. This fucked my head. I've been to a lot of fucking schools. If you know me, you'll know. I've moved around a shit ton. I've lived in Canada now for like more than half my life. So actually, I hate to say it, I'm pretty fucking Canadian. But I've been here since I was in 3rd grade. I was like 8 years old. Place we first moved to, we lived in like a condo. I went to a school there for 1 year. Then we got the house that we've lived in forever now. And so I went to a school there for 2 years. Then I went to a different school for the last 2 years of my... This is all elementary school. That's 3 different schools. Then I went to Louis Riel for junior high for 3 years. So now I'm at Wisewood. That's 5 schools I've been to just in this country. I've been to about 6 more in China and the US. I've been to a lot of fucking schools. I've known a lot of fucking people. And I really hate that none of them remember me. No, but so the last elementary school I went to, I see a lot of... Well, I seen people from that when I was in 6th grade. I was at the Stampede one time with my family, and like I saw this girl, and I was like, that's a fucking girl I know. And anyways, she did not recognize me at all. At another thing at the Stampede grounds, another girl from that class was... She made me a burrito. She was working at one of the food things that they have there, and she made me a fucking burrito and didn't recognize me at all, and I was too embarrassed to say anything, especially because I was so speechless that I recognized this person. I fucked my order up, and I made her make me the wrong burrito, and then she had to throw the whole thing away, and I was really embarrassed, and so I didn't say anything. But that's not the weirdest thing. Weirdest thing was a couple months ago, I was going to school. I take the bus, and I take the direct transit. Okay, it's a city bus, but it goes directly to the school. So anyone who's not going to the school, it doesn't really make sense for them to take the bus. But for whatever reason, this girl was on it who doesn't go to our school. I know she doesn't, but she was a girl I knew at my older elementary school. So I haven't seen her since 4th grade. And oh my fucking God. This girl, her name is Athena. And she, as in the Greek goddess, she was utterly obsessed with Greek mythology shit. She read those fucking goddess girl books. She was nuts. There was this whole thing. We did like a class, whatever, show and tell presentation kind of thing. And she was talking about her family went on vacation to like a lake. They have a lake house. And her whole presentation she was describing it as the lake. Because when you're a kid, you call everything the fucking whatever it is. It's like the only one in the world. And so some kid after the presentation asked, what was the lake called? And she was like, the lake. And man, no matter what we said, the teacher could not, for the death of her, convince her that the lake was not just called the lake. She ate her boogers. She picked her nose and ate it.
She's like the person in her Spanish class.
Shut
The
up.
person with the braids.
Oh my God, that bitch is a horse
look.
I
girl.
was having
She is a
break.
real
I
life
have that in my
horse
head.
girl, guys. Literally, she wears the exact same outfit every day.
Every single
she
day.
has braids down to the fucking kneecaps. Like, I don't know what this girl is on. She yelled at me in math. I like almost threw hands. On God, she shushed me. I was like, no, you shh. And I literally, and the entire class applauded for me. I was like, thank you. This bitch is out of hand. Like, someone throw her back into a river where she came from, because this shit is not it. I refuse for her to be anywhere near me. But then she ended up being in 3 of my classes.
Next.
If y'all thought like my head shape was weird, holy
Shit,
Like-
this girl is like so weird.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was
Anyways.
oh my gosh, I can't get it out of my head now.
So anyways, what was I saying? This Athena girl, she was one of those girls. So, didn't know her terribly well. I kind of tried to avoid her. But, holy fuck. I saw her on this bus. I swear to God. But I have no way of knowing it was actually her. But I was like, I saw her, the first time I saw her at the corner, I'm like, I fucking recognize that person. And I looked at her some more. What she was wearing, it was a hoodie, big ass hoodie, and guess what was on it? The whole fucking thing was covered with a print of the Athena Parthenon. Like, you know that big ass building?
Yeah.
The hoodie had that on it, and a sketch of that on it. It's like, if that is not Athena, I don't know who is. It's like she put up a beacon in the middle of Calgary. It's like, I am still here. I can't. It's like I could have convinced myself by the time I was like 30 years old that she was just a fever dream, but she was real. And I was like, the whole time I kept looking back and I was like, I gotta say something. I was like, but I didn't. Not the same thing. Man, that was just a weird experience for me. I shouldn't have talked that long about that. I'm sorry, guys. That was not that interesting. You guys have way more interesting stories.
It's more interesting than most of my stories.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
you
okay.
can shut up, Aiden. We've heard enough from you. You guys are the ones who are here to talk. So just to let us naturally get into another conversation or whatever, I'm sure it'll happen, but just so we don't have any silent... unless you guys have something you want to get into.
I have something I want to get into, but the thing that I want to get into could be used against me. So I kind of don't want to
So
get
Even
into
put it
better.
out there.
Even better.
There's no better place than the internet.
It's true.
Cole.
This is a safe space. We will all equally be mean to each other.
No, like I should not have done this. Like,
Look,
Not-
Cole, the things
say
that
it.
I said on this thing.
Do it, do it,
Do it.
do it.
I'm just
Do it, Cole. Do it for the views. It's content.
Is it ASMR time?
You can.
It's plastic. It
Try
doesn't
it.
sound very good, bro.
No, plastic can do it.
Y'all be weird though.
It's not stereo.
It's that's gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't
that's
do
the part.
anything.
That's,
Come on, man. Spill the tea.
Yeah.
I like to know.
Bro, I can't.
Okay.
All right,
well,
you know, we'll give you a little bit of
Okay,
time,
okay.
work you into it. First, what I'm gonna get to now. Shany, Cole has not heard this. You were very much for a long time contained to, you have your own friends, you know, which is fine. You got your own world, and then you met us in Spanish class, and we have our own world. But for a long time, that gap was basically just crossed by just Spanish class,
Yeah,
right? It was
right.
like, that was the avatar, connection between the
Yeah.
spirit world and the human world.
Yeah, sure.
But then, because of Aiden, because of your really questionable obsession with Aiden,
I am not obsessed. I just love him.
that's very synonymous. But
I can love Aiden as much as I want. I will not
you
take
can.
this.
You absolutely can. But anyway, so, like, you've not met anyone other than, like, any of Andre or my other friends, or any of Cole's well, no, you've met,
No, I've
what's
totally
his face,
met.
Maxwell.
I fucking love Maxwell, guys. We actually text. We're pretty chill. He kind
But
of hated me at the start, though.
Aiden,
I
so,
think
like,
I'm
you
using
haven't
this.
met, you've seen Nick one time, you saw Sean one time, really?
You
were angry for
immediately
some reason.
hated
Bro,
him.
listen. Okay.
You immediately, and Isaac and Steven,
Wait,
all of their
wait.
friends you immediately
No,
hated.
no, 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 no. No, okay. It was a fire drill, and I see this kid, hair slicked back to the side, and khaki pants up to his nipples, I swear to God. And I was just like, what the fuck's going
Shany,
on, man?
Shany, if you think Sean's bad, you have to meet his brother. It's
And they're like, oh, hey, Sean, just like having the most like normal conversation with this guy, and I was like, yo, what's going on here? And then I saw Sean in the hallway a few times, and I was just like, bruh, who is this guy again?
Look, we're all funny in our own way. We all have our quirks. Sean,
Quirks.
dude, he's a huge teddy bear. I love the guy.
Like, I don't know.
I make him real uncomfortable sometimes. But anyways, love him to death. Shany really didn't like Sean.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
To be fair, it's
Sean, if you're watching or listening, I guess, I could give you a second try.
second chance. It's like, well, see, that's the difference. It's like when I was mean to like you or Chance, I was real mean to you, but then I didn't dislike you. I think really just doesn't like
No.
which is fine. Whatever, to each their own. But then she met Isaac's group of friends, which like we're all kind of friends with each other, but really, Aiden. Did I say Isaac? Aiden, Isaac, Steven, your own little world.
Yeah.
So she met them, and she had, and look, like I said, we've all known each other, like, because for the 3 years we've been in Louis, so we're like used to whatever is weird about it. Like with Sean, okay, I would never like point that out, but we all know it.
That he wears khaki pants really
That,
high.
that he has an interesting sense of fashion. Shany, of course, has never met any of us, so she has no problem pointing those things out immediately.
I'm sorry, guys.
So
I
no,
don't
it's
mean to
fine.
sound
It's
mean.
fine because it's hilarious. If it's funny, if it's funnier than it is offensive, then it's okay. That's the rule of comedy. So, Shany met Steven and Isaac and had some really good descriptions of their characters. For one, Steven.
He's just cray.
What was it that you said about Steven?
No, it was about Isaac.
I know, but like you said something about Steven as well the
Steven's
first time.
just like, I don't know. He's just like,
You had more to say about Steven the first time.
I don't know. What did I say, man?
I don't know. I know you
remember.
pointed out the unibrow, which Steven, I don't think you listen to this, but like I've never brought it up because to me it's like when someone's low riding or something, like you just don't bring it up in public. But man, if you ever listen to this, just do something about it. Like get
I'd
it
be
waxed.
happy to fucking plug that shit, dude. Like on God, you gotta get that shit fixed.
I'm sorry.
Or you're never
I
gonna get
love
any
you to
women.
death, Steven. You're the best of us all, really. But you need to do something about that. Isaac is someone I've tried for a long time to find a proper description. My favorite one to come back to is if you're playing a video game and creating a character, like in an RPG or something, he's trying to make a hybrid character where he's like all sporty and stuff, but he's also a band kid, and he's like all into science and chemistry, but he also is a history nerd. And it's like you can't play all the sides at once. But I love Shany's description so much better. This is what Shani says here.
So basically, Cole wasn't here for this, but we were all like talking, like me, Charles, and Aiden, like 10, 20 minutes before Cole showed up. But I was just like, you know how like some people are really out there? I was like, Isaac's the opposite. He's really in there, man. And I was like, that's perfect. Like, I don't know what this man is on. He's just so cray. Like, I hung out with him for like 3 hours. He did not acknowledge me at all until I mentioned a movie called The Hangover. And then he was like, yeah, you're one of the boys. I was like, thanks.
He is so goddamn funny. And the reason he came up when we were talking is because Isaac's gonna be coming over to record with me as soon as y'all are out of here, or aren't, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, so he's actually gonna be coming over. So whatever, Isaac, you probably gonna hear this at some point. Man, same with Steven. We love you.
I'm sorry, Isaac and Steven.
He's a funny person. Isaac, the reason I like Isaac and I want to be friends with him is because a lot of the things that make him funny are things that I recognize that I relate to, but look, when I'm in a public setting, I know to turn them off because people just don't get it. But I love the guy because, like, there's no one I've ever had a conversation with who I can make a reference to a movie and, like, pull a quote out and he'll immediately be like, I got that. Because no one else is as fucking lame as us. I'm serious. Like, it's like, oh, you guys know your Marvel movies, you know your Star Wars movies. Great. I'm a massive nerd for those kinds of things. But also, I just love fucking watching movies. And I quote a lot in, like, private conversation. Again, in public, I shut it off a little bit. But when I'm just talking to someone...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, guys, I just realized that my nail is purple because I closed the door on it yesterday and I thought it was
Jesus.
nothing. But now it's purple.
I mean, my nails turn purple whenever it's cold.
Actually, no, it's like, you know, those like blended purple.
You know what? You know what, Camp Chief Hector?
No.
Who?
Camp Chief Hector? Oh, you might not have been
never
there.
went to outdoors. No, I went the first year. Every other year I was out of town.
Okay, so I was playing football, right? And I got a touchdown. I chucked the ball at the ground when I got the touchdown. It bounced back, hit my finger. and I was like, oh, dang it, I just jammed or something. The next day, it's like purple and stuff. And the counselor comes up to me and is like, that looks broken. And I'm like...
So you didn't notice that your own finger was broken?
Yeah.
Oh.
I go to this like sleepaway summer camp every year. This year, like, or I guess summer 2019, I never know how to reference that, but like, we have a thing called the dance every Saturday night where like we go into this like building and there's a DJ and there's music and stuff. So I usually wear these like shoes, but this time I was like, nah, I'm gonna be all quirky. Let me go wear my Crocs. So I wear my Crocs, right? And I'm going like fucking crazy, right? And I jump up, land sideways on my ankle in my Croc, and I sprained my ankle. And then this beautiful Irish man who was a counselor was like, oh my god, y'all right? I was like, no, I'm not alright, bro. And I like, from the shock, like it barely even hurt, but like just from the shock I was like already crying, and everyone was just like freaking out, and I was just like okay. And so I was on crutches for like 2 weeks, and I was really upset about it because they really hurt my armpits.
Damn, y'all get injured. What is the deal?
Guys, that's like nothing.
Dude,
well,
I
broke my like bone one time, and it was from throwing a football at the ground.
See, that's funny, but see, people who do sports, I get it. That you're taking a risk. Me, I play it safe. I don't leave home unless I have to. I walk my dog. You know, I bike occasionally until it got stolen. That was fun. But yeah, I don't do any sports hardly. I mean, I did some, but not competitively enough. I never got injured. But also just like shit, like I never got a bloody nose. But
I got one this morning.
But see, that's the thing. I have really low blood pressure, so I never have a thing where I'll just like suddenly get a bloody nose. Like I don't know.
Yo, one time, my brother, we were like, I don't know, like 8 and 6. We were brushing our teeth, and this kid sneezed into the sink.
You told me this.
His nose
Yeah.
literally got so big, and I was like, I peed my pants. I was laughing at him while he was crying and bleeding, but like it was the literally most funny thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so good.
That
It was so funny.
The way.
And then this one time, I was opening a present, and the scissors went through my hand.
See, how do you people injure yourselves like
well,
this?
okay, when I was
Guys,
4,
I'm a cool kid.
I nearly made my sister go blind because I was finishing up a craft and I had scissors in my hand. And when I'm done, she was sitting right next to me and I nearly cut her eye open.
Oh my god, Cole.
How? I just don't get it. Like, I've never been stung by a bee or a wasp.
What?
Only once.
Because I
Yeah,
see a
same.
bee. You know what happens when I see a
You
bee?
freeze.
Since I was like 4. Yes, I stop whatever I'm doing. I stop moving until they leave. I'm a pussy and I love it.
Bella,
Bro,
I
I've
live
been-
on the edge.
Is hockey
Yo,
like a
man.
violent sport?
Yeah, no
Would you
fucking
say?
shit.
Not for
It's
you,
Canadian
Aiden.
football.
Okay, because I
Football's
played that for
worse,
like
but-
7 years and never got injured because of hockey. Or
Because
at least never anything,
you're
like,
too
serious.
tall.
You've got to just like body check everybody.
I mean, if you're not.
Like I've gotten injured more times just by doing random stuff. Like my brother like
But what
put a
stuff?
wheelbarrow on top of me when I was like 5.
See, what the fuck? Like, my brother.
That is
look,
how I get injured. Not
It's
playing
not-
hockey. It's weird.
Like, my brother and I aren't vanilla or anything. We did some crazy shit, but we didn't get, like... That's not true. My brother did get injured.
guys.
I injured my brother quite a bit. Other way around didn't happen nearly as much.
Bro,
so.
seriously, me and my brother used to play this game where we'd have blankets and pillows and then we'd ride the stairs. Bruh,
Oh, see, what the
listen,
fuck?
I came back from a flight from Toronto like last year, and I go down to the stairs because my room's always in the basement. So I go down the stairs, I hit my head on the stairs, and I like start crying. I'm like, Mom, and she's like, shh, I'm putting your brother to sleep, and just left me. And I was like, Mom.
Oh, that's horrible.
I
That's
was
how
like,
kids
what
get
the
messed
fuck,
up, man. You turned out fine, but that's how some kids get messed up. is parents
It
who
was
do
so
that
funny
shit.
though. And then I was like, and then she came down, but like after she put him to the bed, and I
That's
was like,
funny, though.
come on, man.
Man,
It's like,
you
it's-
just reminded me though.
What are you
Man,
doing?
I
My,
can't like
my-
sit down for a while, bro. So awkward sitting
y'all
on this
can
side
do
of the
whatever.
bed.
Come
Uh,
sit with me.
My brother came up with this thing where you sit like you're kind of kneeling, but you know when you sit like on your feet, like you put your knees, you know, on like this thing,
Oh
like
yeah.
where your knees go out to the side. You do that on the stairs and then like slide down the stairs like that.
Oh, I just
Like not on anything.
I just did that on my butt, and then I just like dealt with the pain.
Dang! Wow. Okay. See, this one hurt, but you could go a lot faster and it was a lot scarier. So that was the thing we did. But yeah, like we didn't get fucking. I never had a broken bone or twisted or sprained or whatever. I'd never been on crutches. I never had a cast. But see, I had to get a part of my finger carved out because it fucking my body.
Twin? No, I'm joking. I just sliced it open with a knife.
Oh, see, look again, none of that kind of stuff.
Do you see
But
that?
Where?
This one.
I got a
Yeah,
weird.
this
What
one.
the hell? Let me see.
This one, you have 5 fingers.
This one. Do you see it?
I see
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah,
had
man.
surgery that I can't show anyone. It left a scar, but I can't show anybody because it's like right here. But I've got a scar there.
Oh, I had
And
a
a scar
scars
there.
all
I got-
over my knees.
I got 2 scars, elbow scars. I can't
knee
remember.
scars.
These scars are where it's at, man.
Yeah.
This one time I was biking and I just threw myself in a fence.
Oh fuck.
Really destroyed my kneecap. It was
Bro.
awesome though.
I was biking with my friends this year.
Aiden has a
Aiden.
breaking story.
Yeah, no, Aiden and Hudson, they have not
Oh,
dropped
yeah.
this ever. I biked into a tree, right?
Yep.
Too, man.
Yeah, I cut open my leg and I had to bike for another like hour with my leg
I've-
like bleeding.
I have heard these stories.
Exactly, they never have dropped it.
How do people do that? How do you bike into a tree and survive?
Because
Biking
I
into a
don't
tree is
pay
a common thing.
attention.
I did
For
too.
everyone else, that's what I'm saying. Aiden has a story about that too. He
You
did the
remember?
exact same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I remember
We
that
came to
story.
school the next day and Andre had already like told everyone.
Yeah.
There's this big hill in Fish Creek.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh,
right
yeah.
from the parking lot,
Oh,
this concrete.
shut
Mhm.
up.
And one time, we always go down it and we break and we're like good about it, right? But one time, Andre was like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's just blast down this hill. And his bike is like a little bit better than mine. And so he made the turn, but I didn't turn fast enough or early enough. And there's a gravel patch right at the bottom of this
no.
hill. So when you hit that gravel patch and you're still trying to turn, going a million miles an hour, I lost all control.
Did you go over your handlebars?
Oh yeah, straight through the tree.
How the fuck do you survive that?
It was better.
I
That
would die.
If I didn't hit the tree, it would have been worse.
Yeah, no.
Because there's a lake on the other side.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. So I was biking with Aiden and Hutton, and we were biking on like a cliff. It was like barely mountain biking. There was like a cliff on this side and like a tree that was like here. And so I just ran straight into the tree because I didn't want to fall off the cliff.
Yo, okay. It was like when I was biking, I like ran into a pole, not a tree, because I was just like not paying attention. Like sometimes I just have like random ADHD and I just won't pay attention to what I'm doing. So I was just like looking around, you know, like on the side so no cars hit me. But then I just go boom and I like hit my head into this pole.
I
did that, except I just walked into a pole.
In a playground when I was really little, I concussed myself by running into a pole.
I was just No, someone told me to close my eyes or something, and told me to like come here, and just walked straight into a pole.
My brother.
Have you ever seen like Looney Tunes and someone is running and runs into some kind of pole and like their legs and arms just go straight? That was me.
That's my grandma. My grandma lives in a cartoon. I fucking love my grandma. My dad's side, my dad's mom. She's a amazing, beautiful, gorgeous woman. But man, she's funny. My dad's mom.
Oh.
Dad's side grandma. Anyways, love her to death. But man, she was funny. And this is like before I was born shit. There was one time she's literally done the cartoon thing of like, okay, and she lives in the States, so people actually have like yards with gardens and shit because you can afford it. Anyways, there's no backyard space in Canada, whatever. So she does a ton of gardening. Had her rake out, was walking, literally did a thing where she stepped on the rake and it popped up and hit her. And like one time, my older cousin, so again, this was before I was born, he was like 10 or whatever, had a scooter, and then she was trying to ride the scooter and fell off of it. Anyways, love her to death. But you reminded me of something. Shit. God damn it.
Looney Tunes arm sticking past.
Yeah,
pole.
but before that, no, Cole said something, and then I let you say your
into
thing.
A tree, cliff.
Biking into trees. Never did that shit. You know, I was going down a hill like the one off the road. When you come off the road to go into Fish Creek Park. You know what? It might be from a different side of Fish Creek Park. I don't know where you guys live. Mm-hmm. But anyways, another big-ass hill, like you say. And my dad and I were going down it. See, I've never hit a tree, though. What happened to me?
Man, you're playing too safe. Like
I'm not, though. I don't live safe at all. I just don't do the things that are... Look, I was going down and I got the people who were going down, like, you know, they do like the back and forth thing, and they've done it so much and so hard that they dug ruts into the gravel. Right. Like literally dug out like a ravine.
Yeah.
And I was not following that. You know, I was trying to go straight down, like keeping it on the brake side because I'm a pussy. But I got into it, whether I liked to or not. Did not work out well for me. I went completely down sideways, literally bit the dust. I ate a lot of gravel, tore up my bottom lip, and then we just went. We were going to a party. We were going to bike through Fish Creek Park to get to a party. I walked in the door, I went to the sink, washed myself up, and then went and had dinner. Yeah. Never hit a tree, though. Like, I don't know. I've gotten injuries. It's not like I don't get injuries, but it's not...
If you haven't hit a tree, it just means you haven't been biking fast enough.
That's true. Know? It's not conventional injuries, though.
Enough.
Like I say, I've never gotten shit where I go to the hospital and they give me a cast or whatever. No. But I get shit where, like, did I tell this story on the podcast already? I was, like, we used to live in an apartment in Michigan, a lot of places. And, you know, apartment buildings, they have those heavy-ass doors because it's, like, the door to all the other rooms. So it's got to protect them. Anyways, it's a heavy-ass door. They had a pool out there. It was great. We went swimming one time, and we were going back in our house. Door closed on my foot. Mm-hmm. It was all wet, so all my skin was softened up, and it just sliced the skin off of my heel. Yeah. And we were, like, freaking out because it was bleeding all over. When the hospital was like, and they were like, it's just, like, a real thin... It's really a shallow wound. It just is bleeding a lot because your skin was softened up from the water. And, like, that kind of shit happens to me all the time. The worst thing I've done to myself is, like, I burnt myself because I was really young. I figured out how fucking heat works. A twig, like, fell out of a fire pit and it wasn't on fire, but it felt on fire. And I was like, well, shit, don't want to leave that in the grass. It could like start a fire or something. My brain thought, it's not on fire, it can't be hot. Didn't understand how that works, and then I learned. So I burned myself pretty bad. I've given myself paper cuts all the time, but man, never a bee sting, never a broken bone, no casts, no crutches. I've never had a shit, but I've had fucking surgery on my finger.
I have a burn scar because of ramen noodles. So I wear the joggers, right? And they're like tight on your like calf, right? Just like that. And so I made ramen noodles and I accidentally spilt and it got on my calf and it was like elastic band to my skin, like boiling hot water. And so I just had boiling hot water and I couldn't get it off.
That's funny.
Okay, no. Like, this one time I was biking alone, like, without my brothers or anything, because I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to go for a ride, you know? And I did, okay, so, you know how you pedal, but I was pedaling, like, fast, and then my foot slipped back, and, this... all of this was just like
I've had that too.
like literally,
Yeah.
and I like fell over my handlebars and like was tangled into my bike, like face on the gravel. And one of my neighbors comes out and he's like, "Oh my God, you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And I just like held my tears and I was just like, "Ow, ow, ow," and I just like went home, cried a bit. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And I was like, "Okay." Like, I don't know. I'm just crazy like that.
I, through the use of my oven, discovered how branding works.
Yeah, to give yourself a brand.
Yeah, by accident. Turns out if you take out a pan of like French fries or whatever, and you're wearing oven mitts, you know, you're doing all this stuff, but you can't tilt your hands down because there's a rack underneath the French fries,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that left a mark. It's still there, and it's like it's not just some like tiny scar or whatever, right? Like it's there,
Let me
you know.
see.
It's
Oh my
like
God.
it's not. It never really went away. It's kind of weird.
You know what else people do that I've never done? Slip and fall on ice.
Done it.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Have you not done it, Aiden?
Well, I'm sure I've slipped and fell, but never. Nothing's ever
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, neither have I.
Like I've
This
never gotten a bruise.
Yeah.
I remember
This
what I was
happened to
gonna
me
say.
last week, Brand. No, not last week. Maybe like, I don't know. It was probably like right at the beginning of January. But I got out of my car to go inside. So my dad was like in the garage with his car, and my mom was like dropping me off at home before she had to go run some errands. So I get out of the car. I slip on the ice, hit my head on the car, then the floor, and I was like, "Oh, bro, what the heck?" And I like hurt myself. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, bro, why are you like this?" And my dad got mad at me for not looking down at the ice. I was like, "This isn't my fault, man. It just happens, okay?" And he was just like, "No, you gotta be more careful. But are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Goodbye."
Like, my brother had a teacher who came in, was the assistant principal, and we say at the school that I used to go to, we said that the assistant principal was like a cursed position because we had never had an assistant principal last. The last one we had left, and then the new one that came, I was out of school, my brother was still there, and she was the assistant principal as well as his teacher for like a month of school, and she slipped on ice in the parking lot, hit her, like, fucked up her back, and was like paralyzed from the waist down.
Actually,
I think she recovered, but she was for a time basically paralyzed.
oh my God.
She never came back to school, slipped on ice, and just from that. They got a new assistant principal like the next year, and then a couple months in, they got like sick and had to leave as well. It is a fucking cursed position, but man, people slipping on ice. My mom was in our backyard and we had ice. We get ice real bad because our yard is kind of fucked up where we have a path that's like, it's bricks. It's a brick path to the back gate, but some of the bricks have gotten fucked up so that there's a dip right before you get to the gate. We added some shit so that's not a problem anymore. But there used to be a thing where
well, actually, we replaced the gate entirely. But there used to be a thing where right up to the gate, there was a huge dip with the bricks so that when it snowed, it got warm, shit melted, turned to water, got cold again overnight, it would freeze, and then you'd have just a lake of ice there. Anyways, it was bad shit, and it would block the door. Because now we've got the doors higher, there's a bigger gap, so it's not a problem. Before, we couldn't open the door.
Yeah, bro, that happened to us when it's been -30 for the past like a week. All the doors just got frozen open.
Yeah. Oh, that's
open.
That's real.
Like you couldn't we were getting ice and like trying to chip
we
the
went
ice
to war
out
with it. We got a crowbar.
Yeah. We were trying to chip the ice
was
so that we
fun,
could
though.
close the door, but we couldn't.
It's bad. But anyway, so my mom slipped on this one time, slipped, fell, hit, and chipped her tooth. She had to get a porcelain like cap thing that they put over it. It was essentially a fake tooth, not like a silver tooth or whatever that, like those metal teeth that they get. But now they actually just look like teeth, so you can't tell the difference. But she destroyed her tooth just from slipping on ice. And then so every time we go out when it's cold, when there's ice, you know, parents always telling you, watch out, look out for the ice. And I've started to slip on ice, and then I just recover my balance.
Yeah, that's
But I'm just like an unbalanced person in
I don't
general.
know.
Like, I
It's
almost
such an
fell
issue for
down
people.
just
Yeah,
from standing.
it's like
You
what I
skate
find
on
is
ice.
if you skate on the ice intentionally, you
Yeah.
actually have better
exactly. Like I don't
balance
walk
and control.
because
Yeah.
if you walk, you slip.
Right.
But you like
Well, because if
slide
you're walking,
across
you're
it.
putting all your weight on one foot.
Exactly.
And what's furthermore, like if you step, you know, like with your heel, it's all your weight on like that heel. That's how you slip. If
Yeah.
you just slide, you're
I
actually
don't know.
super stable. So
because you're both
Parents-
are always on.
the parents who are saying don't play around on ice, it's actually the safest way to get around. Check me. How are we doing for time, Aiden?
We are like just over an hour.
All right, we're doing good. Isaac should be coming. What time is it? Okay, well, I said for him to come at 2:30, so we got about half an hour more to go if you guys want to keep going. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. He's been on injuries for a while. He left the Spanish class. My brother, and I've talked about this a lot. I mean, I just told the story about his teacher. My brother has a much more wild school experience than I do. And I've talked about this in a lot of ways, but he's got some classmates. And I don't know how much his stories are exaggerated or what, but man, a lot of it seems pretty intense. So he had this one classmate named Jacob. His name was Jacob, and he was a real interesting character. He was pretty physical. So he liked to play rough and did not mind getting hurt. He didn't really get hurt by things. So, you know, he would play around with things. It was like, I got Andre's kind of like this. He would get people to fight him and it was like, and he
the
just
Bear.
take the hit. Yeah, Andre
I
the
love
Bear.
Andre, guys.
No, but so he made this game. So our old school playground, again, that same old school, had this thing called the Supernova. And it was real interesting. It was like this ring that was tilted, and it was designed so that if you went and stood on it, if you stood in a certain spot, it would just, the way it was weighted, it would just spin. And you were supposed to try and like walk the other way while it was spinning and like not lose your balance and fall off. I don't know if you ever saw one of those. They're weird as fuck. But it was kind of fun. Anyways, again, this was after I had left. My brother and a bunch of his classmates and Jacob made up this game where Jacob stands in the middle of the supernova. All the other kids just stand around on the ring, and Jacob throws himself at someone and tries to knock them off of the supernova. Now, this is not at all the intended use of the supernova, but this is what they did, and Jacob threw himself at someone, and so basically what he tries to do is tackle you off the supernova, and if you can avoid him or whatever, then you're fine. You get to stay on. It's elimination. He threw himself at someone. They got out of the way, and he concussed himself. And they had to call a hospital and take him away because he knocked himself unconscious on the supernova. So anyways, that's my self-injury story. I don't know, people, man. Anyways.
My brother, when he was little, we have in our old house, there's like a carpeted area for the living room, and then there's like a tiled area in the kitchen, and there's like a little walkway.
I'm trying to put it back down.
Yeah, but hold it by the goddamn handle.
So anyway, we had this little walkway in between like the kitchen and the living room, which was tiled, right? And so the couch backed onto this walkway. And my brother, when he was really little, climbed up onto the back of the couch and like stood on it like it was a balance beam or something like that, and fell and just like absolutely mashed his face on the tile. Like he broke like 2 teeth. His nose was like messed up somehow, I don't know, and he concussed himself. Like there's a giant bruise on his forehead.
See what?
Like he mashed himself on the
What
tile
is
floor.
this like lasting damage? I mean, kids do dumb stuff. My brother's no exception, but it doesn't last. We used to jump on our parents' bed all the time, right? And they got their dresser like this one, and my brother likes jumping on their bed. He somehow, I don't really know how you do this, but he jumped and then didn't land back on the bed. Instead, where he landed was ass first on the dresser, hit the corner of the dresser on his tailbone, but didn't break a thing. He was laying on a couch for like 3 days straight. He couldn't stand up, but nothing was broken. He didn't have to go to the hospital, and he just healed in time.
Just hearing that was painful.
Yeah.
My brother's, man, he used to injure himself a lot. But his head, his skull is like hard as a rock. He hits his head on everything. We once went on a trip to China. We've been on many trips to China, but this particular trip, my brother was at the right age where basically the whole trip there was a lump on his head, and it wasn't the same lump. It was just he would hit his head on something, and then literally a lump would form, and then it would go down, and then he'd hit his head on something else, and he'd get another lump. But he was fine.
No,
He
no.
never got concussed.
My brother got a full ass dent in his head. It was crazy. When he was like
This is what I'm talking about.
when he was like 1 or like 1.5 ish, we had this coffee table right by our couch, and he like naturally like this kid rolled off the couch, but he rolled like right like in between his eyebrows. He hit the corner of the coffee table. He had a dent in his head for like a good 2 years until it like just filled back up. I was like, damn, bro.
Oh, fuck. Well, this episode is gonna be about injuries somehow.
Spanish vibes.
Y'all guys want to go back to the Spanish class?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of injuries, being separated for like a month.
Yeah.
Who was that one person? There was one person that was like in our class, but like wasn't.
Who?
You mean the person
Sophie?
that visited?
Yeah, the
You're talking
person
about
that
like the
walked in.
weird,
We had
like the
someone.
people who
Yeah,
sat
you-
at the
no, you always-
table and chairs.
We had
behind
someone
us.
doing like a tour.
Oh yeah, there was that person.
That-
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
that was-
you mean Danny and Joe and them that always
no.
just sat in the
They
defense?
there's this one girl. I think she's
she was creepy.
T?
There's
Yeah.
there's
Or
one
the
ninth
No, no,
grade
no,
kid.
no,
she was always with T.
The one, oh, the ginger
Like,
one with
yeah,
the
yeah.
braces.
Yeah.
I don't know her name though.
She's I don't know. My locker is beside a dashboard class, and it looks like she's
Oh,
in
yeah.
that class. So
Mm.
I try to ignore those people. Like it's like I don't want to make eye contact. It's like
I kept
Yeah.
making eye contact
Mm.
accidentally, and I
Oh
thought
my
I was
God.
about to get like murdered.
yeah, which is exactly why I don't.
Yeah.
But anyways, where were we at in that story?
like
Fuck no. We got separated. We started sitting at the side table with y'all,
Yeah.
and he was fine with that for whatever reason.
And then we started sitting back at the.
And then
back
we
table,
just eventually moved to the back table,
And
and he was like,
still fine with that.
okay.
And then we watched Ice
And
Age.
then we started
Oh,
watching Ice
man.
Age 3.
and just playing.
That
on
was
our
funny.
phones.
I
For
talked
the
about
last,
that
like-
when that happened.
Yeah, for the last like 3 weeks, we were just on our phones the whole time.
Yeah, and he caught Ice Age 3, shut it down. Aiden couldn't have his laptop. I think that was actually the sub shut down Ice Age 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a
They're
bitch.
like, well, fuck, we never got to finish that movie. Which we should do that. We should next time we all get together at like Shany's house or whatever she was saying. We
Yeah,
should just watch
sure.
Ice Age 3.
yeah.
Yeah, I
that's pretty
have
cool.
it. It's so good.
Smart idea.
Oh yeah, 'cause you
And we're
were
gonna
just
get
about-
you to watch 4 and 5 as well. Or you watch 4,
we
right?
just
Yeah.
binge
We're gonna get
watched
you to watch
all of
5.
Ice Age.
Yeah, an Ice Age marathon. Dude, that's like
man.
a marathon of mediocrity.
Okay, no, but except for the first two, because those weren't the best.
They just aren't great.
The
Yeah,
3 and up
one
are
and
great.
2 were meh. 3 was great.
3 was
Which
phenomenal.
one was the third?
4 was funny, but not
4 was okay,
I
but
love
like
4. Why are you guys hating on the
well,
pirate one?
it's super weird because by 4 and 5 it was like, okay, well they already made 3 movies. They're out of ideas. Like they're running it into the ground. But at the same time, the first 2 were somehow so much worse than the third one. It's a really weird series. I spent like a whole episode though discussing the logistics of. I basically summarized the whole Ice Age saga in one episode of this thing, so I'm not gonna do that again. But that was the thing until it was ended. And then after that, we
just sat
played
on our phones
Fallout
because
Shelter.
We weren't allowed to do anything else.
Yeah,
Because we talked to each
And
other
work
for
is,
like
like,
5 seconds and
useless.
he'd be over there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And,
no
like,
one did
Work
work.
is useless. Like, what are you gonna
After
do?
that, he started getting us to write down marks. We stopped doing those quizzes every fucking day. Instead, we were doing worksheets for the rest of the year.
that was
Jesus
such a-
Christ. But the thing is, we recorded the marks all on our own in that workbook thing. He gave us the answer key. I mean, look, it's like he wanted us to cheat. He gave us, at every turn, there was an opportunity. It's like,
Yeah.
he gave you the answers, which you just could copy down, or you could just not even do the answers
And
at
just
all
write
and just
down
write
a
it down.
thing.
And then he started checking to see that we did the work.
And so
Then
we just said
you just
B36,
write whatever. Yeah, you just put the
exactly.
page. He
Yeah.
doesn't even
And
check
then
what you
erase
wrote.
that and do another
Or you
one.
can just
Yeah.
do it wrong and still put it on there. Like you could
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
cheat in any way possible.
Yeah. Like, or if it was the sub, one of us would just, like, write it down very, like, poorly, and then the rest would just copy, so she'd shut up and move on. She's so annoying. She would always just come up to us and, like, especially me, she'd always test me, man.
Oh man.
Do you remember that?
What are you working
Remember how
on
she
right now?
talked in Spanish every once in a while?
Oh
for,
yeah,
like, the
she
first
started
few
speaking
times she
Spanish.
spoke?
She doesn't
Nobody
even...
had
Yeah.
any idea
And
what
then
was
the
going
last
on.
time.
Nobody actually knew Spanish in that class.
Like,
That's
Nobody
why we're in
learned
the class.
Spanish. No, nobody actually learned Spanish.
That's
Well, it's
true.
because we did like grade 3 Spanish.
No,
Yeah.
but like we didn't even learn anything
Yeah.
because nobody tried or did anything.
No, like,
I've
I
forgotten it
learned
all
stuff.
already.
Yeah.
When we were doing the class, I would pick up on some just from hearing it so much. Like, but
Yeah.
god damn, I don't remember a thing now.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. She's just
Yeah.
weird. She's
It
a
really
weird
showed
lady.
when we were doing that final project, and he's like, "Oh, make sure you use these." And I'm like,
We Google
"What the
translated
heck?"
the whole thing. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Bro, what did you get on our final project?
I bet we did fine.
I-
Oh, our
yeah.
final project was great.
I
We
got like
love
a
that.
96 in one area and an
See,
82 in another.
we brought it all back with that final project. You know,
Yeah, man.
we redeemed ourselves. Garen was saying to me, and by this point I already made the decision. Like, I'm not going back to Spanish.
Bro, I kind of want to do Spanish 20 though.
Wait,
It's
but
still
aren't
fun
you in
time.
IB?
Well,
You're in full. If
I'm
you're
not
in full
doing it
IB.
anymore.
You're not.
No,
Okay.
I dropped math IB.
Thank God.
But holy shit. But when I went in for like our presentation, I don't remember when, but he was saying, are you gonna do Spanish next year? And I was like, maybe. He said, you really should. And at that point, I already made up my mind I wasn't going to. I always say maybe. I just feel so bad because he wasn't he wasn't really a terrible teacher. He just had a lot to handle.
Yeah.
Like,
And he hated us.
a lot of kids, and he hated us, but he was trying to do his job anyway. And he was a nice guy, so I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But I'm not going back.
Are you gonna go back here?
Like I'm taking full,
If I
and
go
if I
back,
keep taking
I'll
full.
go back.
Yeah, if you keep being full, you're gonna have to.
Wait, but it might not be a like split class though.
It's
No,
sure you
it is.
might.
He said that it's always split classes.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes the
Can you-
IB kids will get some harder work than the regulars.
Can you cheat on it? As
The
easy?
regulars.
Yeah, I mean, what else am I supposed to call them?
I want the regular. Grade 9. Charles will get that.
Womp womp womp. Okay,
What's
Grade
up,
9
guys?
was a crazy year.
Grade 9,
grade 9 was the
great.
worst fucking year of my life.
Bro, I made the
hated
petition
grade
to
9.
get into another class.
That was great.
And got all of you guys to sign it.
I did some fun stuff. Never mind.
Nope, I
My
hated
favorite, or my most vivid memory of grade 9 is when we were just walking around in the community and someone left their window open on their truck. And then there was
A
also
whole ass
a
rug.
really, really old carpet. Like in the trash.
They
beside
had a
it.
whole car,
And so we just like shoved this roll of carpet into the front seat of the truck.
and it was gone
No.
when we came
Yeah.
back. It was gone, so they removed it.
it. Aw. Dang,
Man,
guys.
we did shit to that school, and I can't wait to go back and like hang out with my brother there.
Nah, man. I refuse
Miss
to go back
Ted-
to January, bro.
Miss Boutet hated me.
Why?
You come to Lou with us.
hated
Just to
everybody.
make you win.
That's
That's a good point.
Somehow.
Shut up,
I
David.
had such good
You're
teachers
an
last year, but my
invalid.
class literally made me want to fucking die every day.
Same,
We
but
had
like
good
no.
teachers.
My teachers sucked.
Well, we had
and
some
the
good
people in
teachers.
my
We
class
had
sucked.
we had Roberts. We had Strands.
Well, the gay
I would
kids
say
always
Balkwell.
had good teachers.
We had Balkwell.
Mhm.
Hell, Ball was fine. Rowley.
Yeah, Ball was
Rowley
good.
was not.
Yeah, Miss Rowley just overshadowed Mrs. Ball.
Rowley. Yeah, I had a pretty good time overall. My junior high experience was pretty good. I think we were just pieces of shit, I'll be honest. You know, really though, when I look back, it's like middle school wasn't that bad. I hear a lot of people say a middle school sucked for them and like how awkward it was and they hated their teachers. But when I look back on it, really, I don't think the school did anything wrong. We were just real shitty.
No, I liked it all overall. Grade 9 just was like my most recent
Everyone
memory,
was
and it kinda
so
sucked.
everyone was so edgy and angsty and awkward about everything.
Was grade 9 or grade 8 the whole Andre and Laylan year?
8. That was 8.
Wow.
I mean, look, people
Good
were
times.
like, and even I look back at some of the things that I did in those years and like, fuck, I was as edgy as anyone. It's like, oh, joking
What
about
do you
drinking
do?
bleach. That's real funny and original.
Yeah, actually, that was like.
I would bully myself from the past really hard now.
Didn't Nick go in the ceiling of the dressing room? Wasn't
What?
that a thing?
The change room?
In the
Nick
change
did
room?
not. Someone did.
Someone
No,
did,
it was-
and
a
then
ninth
Nick
grade kid
also
got up
climbed
there.
up and like looked around.
Oh, yeah,
But
Nick
should
looked
go in.
around. I
Yeah.
tried getting up there. I couldn't. Someone
And then they
climbed into the
climbed
ceiling.
up,
It fell out,
through, yeah.
which was really funny. Nick did some great stuff. We did great
Remember
things.
the time in dodgeball where everyone just threw at Grayson and nothing else,
Yeah,
and then
no
they
one-
came in and had to talk about bullying with us?
Nick's, we had the dumbass Friday classes, which were like 20 minutes long, in the gym classes because you got to change, and then they got to talk to you about how long you took to change, and then the
Yeah.
gym class ends up being 5 minutes. Nick spent the entire rest of the gym class explaining the flat Earth theory.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look, when you don't give a shit about your grades because it's not high school, you can accomplish so much in junior high. We did great things. But, so yeah, overall, I think it was a great experience. But yeah, I was a shithead. A lot of people were pieces of shit. Even with as bad as I was, though, I was able to, like, find... Well, I think if you just spin things the right way, you can have a lot more fun in your life. Like you're talking about the Andre and Wayland thing. Shit like that. Drama, okay? Drama comes up in school a lot for teenagers.
Andre's so creepy.
A lot of people are. But whatever, wherever you stand on all that, regardless, what I find is like, if you take it too seriously, shit fucking happens. You're gonna get upset about something. Have fun with it. I know, and that's what I did. And I had fucking fun with it. And it was fun as hell. I had a whole thing set up. Aiden, I don't think you were a part of this because I didn't know you very well at the time. But we had this whole thing
Oh, Andres
with
told me
Anna.
about this. I remember
Dude,
that.
it was elaborate and it was going so well. And the only reason it failed because Andre broke Nick, the rat. He straight up took him and like threatened him.
Yeah.
And he told
I was
told
talking
everything.
to Andre. Apparently, he's still like mad about that.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
But see, for me, it was just like, okay, to be fair, I was actually pretty upset about it at the time. Now, though, it's just funny. It's just really fucking funny. We had the whole thing. I went around, I was recruiting people left and right. Wayland was keeping Andre distracted for the lunch class. The aim was to keep Andre separated from Anna. Anna Burns. I don't know if anyone knows Anna or if Anna listens to this. It's all water under the bridge. But the goal was to keep Andre from coming into contact with Anna.
But why?
That's besides the point.
It's a longer story.
Yeah, we might tell you after we're done recording. But long and short of it is, Wayland's job is to, keep Andre's dick distracted for as long as possible.
So
And then we had, I think, Nick and Sean were at the door to see if we're watching for Anna. And then I got Melody and Heba in on it. Like, I had everyone. It was hilarious. It was really fun. And then another thing happened where Andre, it's always Andre, by the way, and this is one of the main reasons.
Andre, everyone.
I love having Andre as a friend just for him to be a catalyst for these kinds of things. Another thing that happened was he somehow got into a thing with this 9th grade kid called Leo.
Ben. Oh. Yeah.
Do you remember this, Aiden? Were you a part of this?
When was it?
It's the end of 8th grade, and there's this 9th grade kid, and Andre was like starting quote unquote beef with him. Andre loves beef.
Andre's so crazy. He like thrives off dysfunction.
He loves that, and I find it hilarious. I don't really agree with him most of the time, but it's funnier. So he was like ready to fight this guy. Apparently, this kid had like said he had like. They had said something about they had like metal pipes or something. Basically, they were just throwing shade at each other, whatever. You know, guys being testosterone-filled douchebags. Whatever, to each their own. But Andre was like, we were on like this group chat for what that was made for. Whatever. Actually, there was a group chat made for this. Anyways, Andre's like, I'm gonna get these people together. I'm gonna get my friends together. And we're gonna kick the shit out of Leo and his cronies or whatever. I'm like, and so immediately I was like, this is dumb, but I'm in. So I went all in. Like, literally, Andre gets ideas, and he's like, oh yeah, we do this stuff, and if we plan this right, we'll be like, the teachers will have to side with us because we won't like attack first or whatever. And then
I remember the middle school politics. That was hilarious.
It was good stuff.
He thought of everything like so seriously and so intricately.
That was debate material.
Mm-hmm.
He learned though, after there was an incident with Blaze. After that, he learned, it doesn't matter how much in the right you are, the teachers will never fucking side with you if there's a native kid involved.
Yeah, more stuff to talk about. And
I'm not being racist, it's the teachers that are racist. That will be for another episode. But this incident, the Leo incident, man, this was fucking funny. So, immediately, Andre has like an idea, I'm like, stop right there. I'm doing this. So, I created an entire battle plan. I created a document, I had a diagram for it, and titles, roles, positions for everyone, and it was going to be fucking good. So Andre was going to be at the front, of course. Sean and Justin. Oh yeah. Oh, Sean was in.
Sean's so cute though, like he's
too... have you seen him? He's the tank. Sean and Justin would be flanking him. I have to pull up the document. It was funny. But so Sean would be the one to take the hits. Justin and Andre could actually deal some damage.
Justin's too big of a pussy. Did you not hear what happened at the bus stop earlier this year?
No, what happened?
What?
So this guy, like grade 11 guy, comes up to Justin, and they're like, I don't know, he's beefing him. He's like saying shit that Justin does and like things that are kind of like irrelevant, but like I guess he was mad about it. And Justin took hits for a solid 5 minutes until the guy like tired himself out. Like Justin did not even like raise a finger. He was just there like
Actually, look, Justin's all talk, but this is hypothetical. So look, I had RPG classes for everyone as well. Andre, the warrior, we'd arm him with a bat and a knife. We had purchased several pocket knives for this. Or like X-Acto
just
knives.
for
They were
this.
X-Acto knives. It's true, we bought them for band camp.
Yeah, there was a lot of pocket knives.
Justin, the fighter, with a knife and possibly a rubber band gun. I was providing a lot of the weaponry. Sean, the tank, with a bat. Nicholas, the assassin, with a stick. Nicholas would have been great. Me, the archer, with a rubber band gun and potentially pepper spray. Johnny the healer would be on standby with first aid supplies and a stick. Lucy was gonna be there for support, status effects, bleed damage with a knife. Wayland would be the scout with 2 knives. Wayland would be fucking good with her knives.
5 knives?
It was several. I think we had 4. We had one for each of us that Andre bought for the X-Acto knives. We had a 4-pack of pink X-Acto knives. So that was 1 for Justin, 1 for Lucy, 1 for Andre, and
Andre also
one
has
for
his
Wayland.
own...
Wayland had her own or something.
I think Andre has a couple like Swiss Army knives. And stuff
probably.
Like that.
Wayland's the knife freak. Okay.
Mr. Bear with the knives. Tishk.
Oh my god, I got boxing strategies. Battle strategy, strength. Overpower your target with raw strength. Make sure target is weaker than you, because there's going to be a bunch of them and we didn't know who all was going to be there. So, and there's all different of us. So if you find someone who's weaker than you overpower them with strength. Aim for soft spots like groin, stomach. Make them hesitate by intimidation with your size and strength. This is mostly for Andre, of course. Hold back a little to avoid overbalancing yourself or seriously injuring your opponent, but exert yourself enough so that there's no way they can beat you. Don't let them take advantage of you. Keep your weak points well guarded and keep your head up. Stay well balanced so they can't trip you or knock you over. I did this in 8th grade. I wrote all this. Whoa. Speed. This would be for someone like Nick or Johnny. Use swarm or boxing strategy. Overwhelm target with a massive amount of hits to the side and head. Never let up except to dodge strikes. Be smaller than your target. This makes you harder to hit and you can reach their lower regions easier. If they have to look down at you, you can uppercut their face. Make sure you are nimble and light on your feet. Keep at it until they tire themselves out. Then go in for the kill. Make sure you are always aware of your opponent. One good hit and you're out, so make sure they never get a clear shot at you. Just keep moving and they won't be able to hit you. Duck and weave as much as possible. Don't get pinned. Don't make risky moves. Intelligence. Outsmart your opponents. Wait until they make a mistake and take full advantage of it. Expose weak points and strike without mercy. Put them in a position where they will inevitably make a mistake. Use your weak looks to throw them off guard. And then when their guard is down, make them regret it. Don't underestimate the target. They probably know most of the tricks, so only use them sparingly. And when you know they will work. When things get hot, don't hold up. Get out of there. Likely enemies: Leo, Kelvin, Ben Poulter, Reed with a question mark.
Ben Poulter, I know him.
See, you do nice, but great. So those were the people that we expected to see. Inventory: weapons, 2 bats, 2 rubber band guns, sticks to
this
be.
This is over the top.
Knives, 5. Look, I go all out. I commit to shit.
Like too
Whoa.
much.
This is what I do when I don't have to worry about grades. 5 knives, pepper spray to be announced. Items: phone, camera for evidence, first aid supplies, water, dirt for eyes.
Dirt for eyes.
Here's our battle. Here's our fucking battle formation. So we have Andre at the top right, Justin in the middle, Sean at the back left, me right behind him, Johnny in the middle, Wayland right behind him, Nicholas off to the side, and Lucy at bottom.
Does Wayland go to our
left.
school?
She doesn't go to ours. She goes to
Western
time. Let's just get through this, okay? Plan of attack. Pre-battle setup. Johnny and or Lucy turn on cameras and prepare to film. Weapons are distributed. Wayland scouts out the battlefield. Locate vantage points, potential barricades, high ground, and hidden ditches. Take positions. Phase 1. Andre confronts target leader. They exchange trash talk. Establish level of aggression and our confidence. Sean steps in as legal advisor.
This makes it less fun because if you have it all planned, then it's just gonna be like.
What do you mean? We don't know what they're gonna do. It's not like it was staged.
It's more fun if you guys all just show up with no idea what's going on.
That's how you lose a fight,
no
Shany.
Knives,
They're
and
9th graders and we're 8th graders.
Shany, we don't fight to have fun, okay? We fight
I do. To me,
Shut
it's
up,
fun.
Aiden. You've never even touched another person with aggression.
Wow.
Probably.
With aggression.
I've seen Aiden slap a few people.
Oh,
Who's your slap?
the band camp Aiden lashing. Oh, I remember that.
Slap Cole.
Dude, I forgot what fucking funny.
Why
this
me?
is.
I'm joking, Psycho.
I'm gonna make like a video of this or something. I need to get like the old gang together and we're gonna like reenact this battle. It was fucking funny. Anyways, I was talking about that for too long. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Cole, you haven't said anything in a while. Say something.
I'm tired.
Close this out.
Yeah, finish it up.
How do we finish this off?
I don't know. Say something.
Hello?